Hello everybody and welcome back to Modded Minecraft Feed the Bees. This episode we're going to get back to where it all started. That's right, we're going to do some actual farming. All the episodes lately have been us slaying dragons, or rather getting slain by dragons. I think so far the kill-death ratio is 1 kill and 30 deaths or something. You know, I got absolutely destroyed by that dragon. This episode, it's time to chill things out, bring down the tempo a bit by getting back to our roots and doing a little bit of farming. Now, why are we doing some farming, I hear you say? Well, wait, what's that noise? What the hell? What are you doing in here? What's this guy? He's staring at the milk. Oh, you want some milk, do you, pal? I'll give you some milk. Boom. Rest in pieces. Ugh, man. Ugh. So apparently, yeah, a big problem with our house at the moment. We have a villager spawner over there. And what I believe happens is they spawn, go around, and then if they find a block that's associated with their job, they'll come over and just start working it, and it sucks. Now, you may have noticed over there's a bit of like a weird kind of setup that we got going on. And that's going to be for future use because we're going to look into some magic mods, and that's an area for us to do some experimenting and a place away from the building to cast some spells. So if everything blows up and we have a massive explosion, we're not going to lose the house in the process. So this episode we're going to jump into some farming, and we're going to do some mechanized farming, that's right. So we have power, which means we can get some machines on the go to do some real mechanized farming. And I realized this was important because, well, we have a big problem at the moment, and that's the fact that we don't have, any all the modium apples. We need to get all the modium apples. To get all the modium apples, we need real apples. We've got loads of nuggets, they're not really a problem. The big problem is the apples themselves, and we have no way to farm apples. So we're going to go through a step-by-step process of getting our first mechanized orchard going. Number one, we're going to need some saplings. So we've got some emeralds from the computer. Let's go shopping. Oh, but before we go, let's put our jetpack on. I put the jetpack into the power station, and this has been charging in the background. I made a bit of a boo-boo earlier, and I miscalculated. I thought that this power station only made 800 FE per tick. It actually makes 11,000, which is about 5 times more than our all the modium solar panel, and it means it is still much better. So, you know, lesson learned. Oh, let's just slip this on. Make sure the throttle's pretty low. 20% is pretty good. There we go. And it's still quite a bit quicker. Also, it's nice just kind of leisurely gliding along to the shop, rather than going at like the speed of a Ferrari. However, it does look like sidestepping is still pretty quick. Okay, Emma, our emerald muncher, let's see what you've got for us. So we're looking for apples. There's a pineapple seed and an apple sapling. Now, I'm not quite sure how the apple saplings work. Now, you're probably thinking, what do you mean you're not sure how the apple saplings work? You're a farmer, for one. You call yourself a farmer? More like a scrub. You put the apple sapling down, the apple tree grows, and apples grow on the sapling. Yeah, that's true. But different saplings have different ways of doing it. And sometimes the trees themselves grow the fruit and the fruit falls off. Other times you have to right-click the fruit. So it's really like a mix. Now first we need to find a location for our apple orchard. And I feel like this spot here, next to the mahogany kind of promenade, is a pretty good spot. We've got our create farms over here that we never really hooked up to our computer system. And it's a bit tricky to do because they never stop moving. So maybe we'll do that one day, although the likelihood is we probably won't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out space here, and we'll put some orchards over here. Just move these seeds and bits of grass out the way. There we go, a nice space to work with. So let's put down one of these apple saplings and, like I said, see how this bad boy works. Let's just go grab some bone meal quick. Boppity boop, boopity bop. 64 bone meal should be a plenty. Now we're going to put the first tree right smack bam in the middle here. An even distance between the mahogany trees and the path over here. so that we've got plenty of room to work with. Get this sucker grown up. There we go, nice and big. So we have here an apple tree, and it's got apple fruits dangling down from below. If we bone meal these apples, they become real apples. Growth 57%, growth 71%. And what we're going to do is we're going to grow up all of these apples so they're almost ready to fall off. There we go, they're all red apples now, mostly 70%, 57%, you know, kind of like a real mix of growth states. And what we're going to do is we're going to see if they fall off the tree onto the ground. But if they don't fall off on their own accord, we're going to have to take some drastic action and find a way to suck them off the tree. Yeah. Alright, so the sun is setting, let's have a sleep and come back and see what these look like in the morning. Okay, and as the sun rises, it looks like our apples are kind of almost fully grown. So we have a bit of a problem here. We have an apple tree with some fully grown apples, but they're sticking onto the tree, and there's no way that we can get these guys off of the tree. So I'm kind of confused now. How are we going to get the apples from the tree into our computer system so we can make them into all the Modium apples? Well, once we solve this enigma, we can harvest and farm all kinds of trees. Now, it's always quite fun trying to work out the best way to do some farming. Now, Industrial Foregoing is a mod that has a lot of really good farming blocks. So let's take a look through some of these and see if we can't find what we're looking for. Something for farming trees, taking the fruit off of trees and farming them. So there's animal ranches, hydroponic beds, plant gatherers, plant sowers, plant fertilizer, animal feeder, mob crusher, mob duplicator, wither builder, mob slaughter factory, a sewer, sewage composter, baby animal separator, but I don't see anything for trees. Oh, check this out, there is an enchantment factory. I wonder what that does. Oh, in fact, what that might do... Tell you what, I'm going to build one of these, because I can. Wait, whoa, what? Dissolution chamber? Oh, man. This game... Why did Industrial Foregoing have to go and get hard to use? So I think maybe the plant gatherer is what we're looking for. I do believe it can gather plants, but also, I mean, what are fruits if not plants that just grow on the trees instead of soil? So a plant gatherer requires hose, axes, pity machine frame, golden gears. All this stuff looks really simple to make, so let's give it a go. There we go, one pity machine frame. We might need a couple of these, so I'll make 2, I guess. Boom, 3 in the bank. Now, wait a minute, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I've never done anything with this mod before in this playthrough, so I'm gonna need some kind of plastic. So I can smelt dry rubber into plastic, okay, and I get tiny dry rubber from a latex processing unit. This could be good, this might work. But plastic is very important in Industrial Foregoing, so a latex processing unit is definitely something I'm gonna need. Oh, but to get it, you need a latex bucket? What the hell? I need latex to make latex? That ain't right. So, okay, I'm gonna bite. How do I get liquid latex? A fluid extract. Okay, so a fluid extractor on logs produces a stripped log and then latex. Easy enough. So we actually need a fluid extractor to start with. So let's make a fluid extractor. Man, there's so many things. So it looks like Industrial Foregoing has changed a lot. There's a dissolution chamber now, which seems central to half of the things you make, and latex becomes a big part of it. So I'm going to need a few of these fluid extractors and a few of these latex processing units. All right, another beautiful day on the farm as the sun rises. On the 5th day, look for my coming. Ho ho ho. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a place to do the latex farming. Now, we're not going to need a lot of space for this, but we are going to need probably a little bit of power. So maybe, actually, what about the outside section over here in the lab? We can basically change this to grass if we need to make trees up here. But yeah, let's do the latex processing out here in the sun, up in the lab. So a fluid extractor, has to face a log. I see. So you don't put a log inside it, it has to face a log. So the first thing we're going to do is run a test setup. This is a fluid extractor. We're going to use a block placer from Cyclic to put down the actual wooden logs. Rightio, so dirt in the middle and a block placer. So this should place the logs that we feed into the block placer. So let's see, we put a spruce log here. We set this to always on. So this always puts down a log when it has logs in there. The fluid extractor slowly starts to suck latex out of the spruce log. And the latex processing unit takes this liquid latex that we're making here and turns it into dry rubber. Okay, that sounds like super simple. So to make this neater, we're going to move where the block placer is. We're going to put this at the back. And then surround the log with these fluid extractors. Now this should triple the speed at which it goes through this log. But actually it's quite a good speed. I mean, this log has got quite a lot of resilience. Then with some pipes, we can suck out of all of these fluid extractors and create the processing unit. Now before we do that, we're going to need a bucket of latex. Okay, so step 2 is going to be getting power to these machines. We've got all the machines that we want now. Let's just... is this going to work? Yeah, it should do. There we go, power cable's gone in there, and we'll just bring the power up from the bottom here. Very nice. So we have the block placer placing the blocks, the fluid extractors sucking out the latex. Now we need to add a machine that will process this latex. Now for the moment, that's going to be the fluid encapsulator because we need this to get buckets of latex so we can make the other machines. Man, it's all a bit technical at the moment, but don't worry, it'll get a lot better once we get to the actual farming. So there we go, now there's latex in the fluid encapsulator, and when it gets a little bit more, we'll get our very first buckets. Amazing. There we go, 1 bucket of latex. Amazing. So there we go, this setup all works. We've got a block placer putting down spruce logs, latex being gathered, and very slowly, the fluid encapsulator is creating for us buckets of latex. What we'll do is we'll leave it to do its magic and come back for more buckets later. But for now, we want to make a latex processing unit. Now this is the last step. After this, we should be able to make the plant gatherer, fingers crossed, and finally get... Man, it's always so stupid. All you want to do at the start is something simple, like farm apples from a tree. Then it turns out like 10 minutes later, you're like waist deep into a mod that you have no idea how much you're even really going to use. But that's the beauty of modded Minecraft. There's just so much crazy stuff to use, try, and find out about. And honestly, I'm super excited at how industrial foregoing has changed, because there's just so much more cool stuff to do. Bada boom, bada bing, we have a latex processing unit. Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so the latex processing unit has latex. How much latex is required? It's got power as well. So when is it going to make a bit of latex? Now I'm a bit worried here because oh, water. Does the latex processing unit need water? It looks like it does, but as luck would have it, we even have our kitchen sink up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a sneaky. I'm going to dig underneath this thing. And there we go, now it's sucking water out of the sink as well. Now sinks are crazy. They're just honestly the best source of water in the mod pack for sure. So, it's got water, it's got latex, oh yeah, and now it's making tiny dry rubber. Now, tiny dry rubber is used to make dry rubber, and dry rubber is used in the smeltery to make plastic. Man, this has been a real pain in the butt, but it's actually really cool. I'm really enjoying industrial foregoing, so I'm enjoying kind of exploring this kind of chain. Okay, so now we've got 2 plastic in the computer. Let's see if we can make a plant gatherer. A pity machine frame. What a weird name for it, by the way. And also, there we go. Boom, a plant gatherer. Amazing. So there's only one thing for it now, a test drive. So we're going to plug this in. It's got to be facing the other way, my bad. Now let's see how this works. I right click on this and we should be able to see the working area. Show working area. Okay, so it doesn't have a very big working area at all. And I think we need to add upgrades if we want to give it a bigger working area. But for the time being, let's park it right in front of one of these apples to see if it works. Okay, so moment of truth. Let's give it a go. We're going to put down wood here, 1, 2 blocks. We're going to put the plant gatherer right there. Its working area is that apple right in front of it. We're going to give it power in the form of this battery, which we're going to put down here so you can see it working. Bring up the universal cable. Boop, boop, boop. There's no power going through it yet, so we need to turn the battery on. Is that exporting power? There we go. Oh my god. No! Don't do this to me! Okay, you know what it's time for? It's time for the Industrial Foregoing Manual. I had no idea, but it has a book now, so let's take a look. Take a look in the book. So we've got through the basics of making plastic. It then talks about the dissolution chamber, which we'll get to. In fact, yeah, there we go. So I've unlocked that. Agriculture and husbandry. Here we go. This is it. This is what we're talking about. Okay, so the plant gatherer, that's what we've made. It's a machine used to chop trees and harvest crops. Each operation creates a little bit of sludge. If the plant gatherer begins to harvest a tree within the working area, it will continue to harvest any log or leaves connected to the base log block. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so this doesn't work on just singular apples. This works on the entire frickin' tree. That's amazing news. So what that means we can do is we can bring this down to ground level where it looks a lot neater. Here we go. So it faces the tree. Plug it in. Ho, ho, ho. Are you working? You should be working, right? That's the working area. The plant gatherer. It's got no power. Right, okay. Export to the east. Oh, there it goes! No way! Oh, amazing! Now I'll just pick up the apples for now, and what we can do is we can put a modular router behind it in the power chain, and and then a sapling planter on one side, and then a bone meal thing on another, and that should work. Oh, amazing! And what we can even do is use a range upgrade to make it so that we can put the plant gatherer some way back so it doesn't interfere with the plant sowing. Oh, that's amazing! So the question is now, how do we make something automatically create trees for this plant gatherer? I can literally use, from Industrial Foregoing, a plant sower. And then even a plant fertilizer to get that thing to grow. Man, this is going to be so simple. Well, let's grab some plastic and make these two machines. Boom, a plant sower, bam, in the bag. And we'll also make a fertilizer because, well, wait, actually, can we make a fertilizer? No. So we need a dissolution chamber. So maybe we need to look into that pretty soon. So, the plant sower. Whoops. Wait, what? Is this something that you're supposed to put underneath? Is that what this is? Just like an underneath machine? It might be. It might be one of them underneath machines. Yeah, because it looks like it's always facing up. Okay, that's fair enough. So I think then we put it here. Plug it into the power. Like this. And now if we give it these apple saplings, what does it do? Yeah, it grows it. Amazing. Now this should grow over time, but to pretend that we are somebody that is growing the tree, we're going to right click this bad boy, get it built. There we go. All right, now let's count our apples. We have 14 on us at the moment. I've picked up 26, so we get 12 apples per sapling. Let's try that one more time. Put these apples into my backpack. Bone meal this tree. Collect the apples. Yeah, and that time we got 12 as well. So it looks like we're guaranteed 12 apples. We can use 9 to make a sapling with an auto crafter. Oh my god, the whole system just freaking works. That's amazing. Okay dudes, thank you very much for watching this episode of Modded Minecraft Feed the Bees. This episode we started our journey down the mechanized farming path. This was mechanized farming part 1. Stay tuned for mechanized farming part 2 when we go even deeper down industrial foregoing and look into how we can upgrade both our orchard setup here, but also start growing regular crops as well. I'm going to decorate this area around us so it looks a little bit nicer for when we put our trees in. But until next time, thank you for watching. A huge thank you to all your comments. A big thank you to everybody that's a channel member and a subscriber. And until next time, take care.